Blessed Virgin Mary appeared on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, December 8, 1531. She appeared to an Aztec man who had been converted to Christianity and had taken the name of Juan Diego. She said, "Know for certain, my dearest and youngest son, that I am the perfect and perpetual Virgin Mary, Mother of the true God, through whom everything lives. I desire that a temple be built here for me, where I will show and offer my love, compassion, help, and my protection to the people. I am your merciful mother and the mother of all. In order that my intentions be known, go to the house of the Bishop of Mexico City and tell him I sent you, and it is my desire to have a temple built here." So this brand new convert goes to the bishop, and the bishop did not believe him at first. So Mary sent him back the next day to tell the bishop that it was the ever-Virgin Mary and Mother of God who personally sent him to him. This time the bishop was more impressed, but he said the lady had to provide a sign, a proof. So the next day she sent him a sign, and it was the tilma, which is the representation on that blanket hanging over there. The tilma was the apron of Juan, and when she had packed it with roses, and when he dropped the apron, then this symbol of Mary was there. The tilma was a pictograph that the Aztecs were able to read and understand. It spoke volumes to the Aztecs. Her mantle was turquoise blue, edged in gold, and there were many gold stars. Turquoise, gold, and rose were considered sacred to them and were for royalty. So Juan knew that she was a queen. Her standing on the moon and the stars told them that she was a celestial queen, greater than their gods of sun and moon. Yet she was not a goddess because her hands were folded in prayer. She wore a brooch with a black cross, identical to the cross on the banner and helmets of the Spanish conquistadors, telling them that her religion was that of the Spaniards. The sash around her waist was blue, and the tassels on it signified that she was pregnant. Flowers were considered to be an embodiment of God and earth. Mary's flowers were like marigold, which was associated with lineage and constituted a sign of office and rank, and symbolized fertility and rulership. Scientists have studied the tilma and done several tests. The lifespan of the tilma should have been about 20 years, but it's been 476 years now, and it's still here. Scientists have found that the chemicals used to color the tilma were neither animal, vegetable, or mineral dyes, and were unknown to science. Thus Our Lady left a sign not only for their time, but also for ours. She came to say, "I'm your mother, and I care." In the years of 1532 to 1538, the European monks succeeded in winning over and baptizing 8 million people. So many people had been sacrificed to their god Quetzalcoatl that the natives swarmed to embrace the Christian religion, in which one divine man had been sacrificed once and for all. In the 17th and 18th centuries, we had the improvements in physical universe and advancements in technology. Another faith crisis was centered at that time around the free thinkers of the age, which they called the Age of Enlightenment. The roots of secularization were in this enlightenment. One of these free thinkers was a man named René Descartes, a Frenchman. He taught that every concept should be questioned or doubted until reason could prove its validity. This is called rationalism. Faith of any sort was rejected. Christian religion was relegated to the private sphere of one's personal life. There was exclusion from public life, including politics, philosophy, science, literature, arts, and the public media. Another free thinker, an Englishman, Lord Herbert, presented the substance for a new religion called deism, and it taught that God established the laws of the universe and set it in motion, and after he did, he didn't interfere with the affairs of man anymore. Something Father John Karaki said on EWTN this week kind of applies in this case. He said, God seems to have put very definite limits on our intelligence, but none whatsoever on our stupidity. A third freethinker was Voltaire. Voltaire and other philosophers launched a direct attack against the Catholic Church and Christianity, making it fashionable to be a mocker of Christianity. As a result of his approach, a gentleman's society of freethinkers called Freemasons arose in France. Voltaire's followers were some of the French revolutionists of 1789. In 1793, that revolutionary government began to de-Christianize France and set up a new religion. All Christian holidays, including Sundays, were suppressed, and Catholic churches were turned into temples of reason. On November 10, 1793, a girl of ill repute, an actress, Mademoiselle Aubrion, was placed on the altar of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris and worshipped as the goddess of reason. With the inventions of the Industrial Revolution, the electricity and steam engines, mass production, many saw religion as having no place, as being an outworn superstition which impeded the attainment of universal happiness for mankind. God's children were defiant. God sent his mother to France. And I'd like to show 3 ways. In the Bible, when they specify something that they really want to stress, they say it 3 times. Well, these are 3 times that he sent someone to France, his mother to France. She appeared one time to Catherine Laveray, a sister, on a humble, narrow back street called the Rue de Banque. This was in 1930. With tears, she told Catherine, "The times are very evil, and many sorrows will come upon France." And by the way, today is the celebration of the Sorrowful Mother. "There will be victims among the clergy of Paris. Monsignor the Archbishop will be stripped of his garments. The cross will be hurled to the ground and treated with contempt. The world will be in sadness, and these events will happen by 1870. In the second message to Catherine, we see that Our Lady's message at Paris was not only for France, but for each individual in the world to surmount the crisis of secularism. The message came on November 27, 1830. And there's a statue behind the piano here that kind of portrays what they described there. She saw the Virgin standing on a globe with her foot on the head of a green and yellow serpent. Her eyes were lifted to heaven, and her hands raised to the level of her heart. She held the globe surmounted by a cross, and this part's also depicted in one of these pictures. Then she lowered her hands, and the globe disappeared, and she lowered her hands. Each finger had 3 rings set with precious stones, from which sprang rays of brilliance. Behold, the symbol of the graces which I bestow on all those who ask for them. The gems from which rays do not fall are the graces for which souls forget to ask. An oval frame appeared around the image, and forming a semicircle inside the frame were the words written in gold, O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee. She told Catherine to have a medal coined upon this model. Those who wear it will have great graces.